Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's edition of HR Mentorship Learning Series. Tonight, we'll be looking at a topic transitioning between HR practice and consulting. Sometimes some of our colleagues at the point of retirement want to enter into consulting. Sometimes some of our colleagues do consulting as a private practice. While they are still working, they're also rendering consultancy service. Sometimes some of our colleagues started consulting not intentionally. A lot of people are calling them for free advice. I do a lot of that today, just that I don't get paid for it. But tonight, we'll be looking at how to transition between HR practice and consulting. Our facilitator for tonight is Matthew Edigbe, and respectfully, he has been one of the most consistent facilitators we have on this network. He is almost always volunteering to speak at every available opportunity. In fact, I'm sure we are the one who restrains him to say, take a rest, okay, and come back a little later. We don't take that for granted. And each time he comes to this platform, it delivers so much tremendous value. Matthew Edigbe has over a decade of experience as a core human resource professional with strong background in consulting, manufacturing, construction, factory operation and effectiveness, fast-moving consumer goods business. He has significant interest around human capital advisory, organizational design and development, business leadership, people management and culture, talent acquisition and management, compensation and benefits, learning and development, HR project delivery, and data analysis. He has successfully built and managed human capital management both in Nigeria, Central Africa, and in the Middle East. Matthew Edigbe holds a mini MBA with Techidia Institute. He has an MSc in Business Administration from Lagos State University. He also has an MBA in Human Resources from Ahmadu Bello University, and he has a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from Tansian University. He also has an ND, National Diploma, from Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, as well as an Executive Diploma in Human Resources from Society for Human Resource Management. In addition to this, Matthew is a PMP and Prince 2 certified. PMP means Project Management Professional, and is an associate member of Chartered Institute of Personnel Managers of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to hand over the virtual lecture to our facilitator for tonight, Mr. Matthew Edigbe. Go ahead, sir.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming up again to this opportunity where we'll be distinguishing between HR practice and consulting. And so I would say, before I continue, I'll say a little about my story. I started my career very interestingly in the manufacturing space. And over time, I just see this young set of people and sometimes mature individual who comes, they diagnose our problem, they ask us questions, and they are giving us feedback. Now, over time, who come to speak about HR, who comes to talk about technology, who sometimes come to talk about machine issues, who sometimes comes about to talk about the problem we have within the manufacturing space. And I've been noticing this set of people, and I've always wanted to be like them. Because the truth is that when they come in at different instances to solve this problem, you realize that they speak and they put their shoulders far above their head in that position for us to see them as experts, in the position for us to see them as the consultant, the people who has, in this case, the required information, who has the better information on the issues that we have, that's serving as hindrances or problem from us, meeting up with business demand, customers demand, community demands, and the likes. And so they come and they profound solutions to us. And so I was always monitoring them from one organization to another organization until I got to a point to say, no, I want to join the consulting space. And then I met with a very senior colleague, a very senior individual, and I asked, what is the difference between the HR that I am doing now? Because at that point in time, I was head HR. So I asked, what is the difference between what I am doing? I am solving employee problem. I am doing everything that falls around the value chain of human resources. So what is that thing that differentiates myself and this set of individuals? And then he sat me down and we spent hours discussing the difference between myself and this individual that classified themselves as consultants. And within few minutes, we will look at this together and then we'll be able to learn. And of course, I would love this to be an interactive session because that's the best form of study. Let's check something out together. Now, if whatever we say about consulting falls around this whole circle, you don't speak about consulting without saying that consulting is helping management reach consensus. People, and that one has to do with recommending a solution to a problem, to a gap that has been identified in an organization. So if you want to take it round from, because it starts from defining the problem, collecting facts, identifying best practices, outlining an implementation plan, helping management reach consensus, recommending a solution, and ensuring improvements are sustainable. So, these are every circle that speaks about consulting. So you cannot talk about consulting without going through each of this process. You cannot walk into an organization to say you want to tell them who you are without starting your conversation from defining or identifying the problem and defining what that problem truly is. Collect facts. And guess what? The interesting part of consulting is that every problem they want to solve, a consultant, every problem they want to solve for you, you are going to be the one that will be telling them most of it based on experience. Because if I come into your organization and you tell me that this is the problem you have, I'm going to collect some data from you. And some of these data that are inherent within the organization. Either it has to do with people, it has to do with culture, it has to do with technology. Every of these data, I'm going to get them from you. And in identifying best practices sometimes can even come while I'm interviewing you. I can be interviewing you and you say, some of our competitors, this is what they do. I've gotten an information from you. Outlining an implementation plan, I will just get maybe an Excel or a PowerPoint or a Word document and just draw up a plan to say, okay, we'll start from here, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll make a test, and like that. And, helping management to reach consensus. I already know what the problem is. We have been able to discuss this together, but that is the consultant and the individuals who are currently working in the organization. And together we've been able to dissect what the problem actually is and possible solutions or resulting matrices in recommending solutions to the organization. Because the truth is, like I tell some of my friends who are currently not in the HR consulting space, I tell them there is nothing really big in coming into the consulting space. And the reason why I'm saying this is not because probably I'm enjoying the free flow, because of course there is the business part of it, which we'll speak about. Not because I'm enjoying the free flow, but the honest truth of it is that if you want to come into the consulting space, if you have the opportunity to being able to identify problems, which is basically what we do in the HR space, we are able to identify pertinent issues within our organizations and see how these issues are being resolved. It's the same thing within that happens in the consulting space, even though sometimes we try to look for a different strategy, or we try to look for another roadmap and see how these problems are resolved. Let's look at something else. A global overview of the consulting industry. Current state. Now, I have restricted the scope within Nigeria. Now, the market size of it, the Nigeria consulting market is estimated to worth $4.4 billion. As of today, I needed to do a review. I presented this slide and I decided to do another review again so that whatever I speak will be empirical. with a projected growth rate of 7.4% through 2027. Let's look at industry composition. The consulting industry market is dominated by indigenous firms, which is about 60%, followed by international firms, 30%, and of course, boutique firms for what? 10%. Now, see something again. Key service areas. Of course, we agree to say that the key service area is seated within management consulting, IT consulting, human resources consulting, and financial consulting are the major service area if you want to speak about consulting. Now, growth drivers. Increased demand for business process improvement, digital transformation, and compliance with regulatory requirements are the primary drivers of the growth. The truth is, till this moment, and even to tomorrow, Sunday, no matter how much consulting organization that comes up today, they are not enough to solve the problems that are in Nigeria. Now, let's look at some of the challenges. Limited access to finance, talent shortage, infrastructure deficiency are the key challenges faced by the industry. And so if I tell you now to say that today in the consulting space today, we don't have enough talent to come into this space to start the job. I will agree to say that there are shortage of finances, of course, to start it up, to do this, to do that. But it is not really affecting the industry because there are individuals, there are organizations that you come in and they accept your proposals and they want you to do business with them and they pay you upfront. The upfront that they will pay to you is enough for you to start the business. It's enough for you to start that drive, to start that relationship with the organization. And over time, you get and you fall into that space. Let's check something again together. Global comparison. Now, compared to other African countries, Nigeria have a relatively mature and developed consulting industry. Now, these indices and these data are as such today. However, it lags behind global leaders in terms of market size, industry sophistication, and internationalization. And this is because most consulting industries in Nigeria today, just a few of them, I wouldn't want to say the big four, because that's where most of us will want to take our minds to. But the big four, of course, have this international affiliation, while others that are still coming up do not have that international affiliation. Hence, it makes them to look like they cannot compete favorably, or they cannot be able to meet with the demand that are currently in existence, or perhaps they've not be able to solve some of the problems that are already inherent in the economy in Nigeria. But trust me, they can, but they don't have that level of that extent and that proximity to be able to do this. Now, let's look at something else. The Nigerian consulting industry is highly fragmented with a large number of small and medium-sized firms. Now, you do not really actually need to start very big if you want to start your consulting. Or if you want to go into the consulting space, you don't need to just think of going to the big four. You can start from any little small or medium-sized consulting organizations in Nigeria or within scope and start your idea from there, or start the learning process from there. And then you get to see that by over time, when you gather the required experience, maybe within 3 to 4 years, you cannot think of saying you want to join the big four or the big five or even the big 10 within the consulting space. Now let's look at another comparison. The fragmentation hinders the industry ability to compete effectively with global players. So there are some consulting space that, if I mention their name, that you like, I don't know these people, but they're actually making money in Nigeria today. They are not competing with the big four. If the big four send proposals to organizations and say, we'll do this for you for 10 million naira, these guys will come to say, we'll do it for you for 2 million naira. A senior colleague in the consulting space used to call them the Jide and Sons Consulting Company, because they will come and where you are bringing 20 million proposal and they are coming to say that they will do it 2 million naira. Now, guess what? The same problem you want to solve for 20 million naira, they will come and they will solve it for 2 million naira. Now, this does not also say that they are not good. This does not also say that they don't have the required talent or the required expertise or experience. They do, but that's being part of the global players is not available to them. But of course, they are doing it within their own space, within their own scope. They are working so well. They are solving problems. They have talents who are doing this job, who, of course, in the longer run, becomes experts on their own to either think of joining the Big Four or they want to start up their own. Like I said earlier in the introduction, so consulting organizations comes up with the problem and the challenges that are available in the Nigerian market. Now, some key advantages in the consulting space. And this is based on some of the experiences that I have gotten. And of course, some of my friends that, senior colleagues and experts who are in this space too, and who are also, enjoying it. And I have privilege sometimes to speak with them in the way I have the opportunities to, and when they're also speaking, I learn from them too. One of the advantages, there is diverse and challenging projects. Consultants work on a variety of projects across industries, encountering new challenges and problems to solve. That within few periods that I've been in the consulting space, I have been faced with different organizational challenges, different organizational problems, different issues that have to do with people, culture, and technology that ranks from small to medium to large, from management issues to board leadership issues to board issues. Now, these are some of the cases that will come to you, and you just be thinking and cracking your head, how do I solve this problem? This keeps the work fresh and engaging, providing opportunities for continuous learning and skill development. The consulting space will make you want to see. If you are doing the conventional HR, you can just feel, okay, by Tuesday, okay, to Monday, this is what I want to do. I want to check attendance. I want to ensure that people goes for training. I want to do this. I want to do that. But the consulting space would always take you out of your scope. You have reasons to want to study. You have reasons to want to enlarge your network. You have reasons to want to build more friends. Today, I have people that ordinarily I will not be able to, if I see them on the street of Lagos, Abuja, I may not be able to stop them. But guess what? The consulting industry that I am currently now has given me opportunity to have so many networks. I can pick up my phone to call a managing director of a microfinance bank, a mortgage bank, or a commercial bank to just say, I want to say hello to you, sir. I want to say hello to you, ma'am. And I'll just exchange pleasantries and end of call. Now, if I in my normal conventional HR work, probably the only MD I can call would just be the MD that I was working with, or probably any of the MDs I have worked with in the past. Another part of it is intellectual stimulation. Consulting requires strong analytical thinking, problem solving, and communication skills. Consultants are constantly challenged to analyze complex situations. There are sometimes you have a brainstorming session with your clients that you might find yourself being absent-minded. Now, it is not because you cannot do it, but because you're thinking that how our organizations having these kind of challenges. I've been in a brainstorming session where a chairman of a board, all the board members were complete, management team were complete, and myself and my team members were in that meeting, and he just asked a question, and the whole board members and management, they just faced us, the consultant, like, okay, you are the consultant. What do you think we should do? And I was just like, thank God I have made little research about these organizations. Thank God I've already done benchmarking before the meeting. Thank God I've been able to ask some questions about that organization before coming. I've been able to get some of the profiles of the members of the board of the organization before coming. This particular industry would make you think far ahead of yourself, your thinking, your qualification and your certification, and your total years of experience that you have in any field, probably HR, sales and marketing, or technology. Now, another interesting part of it is that consultants earn higher salaries. Yes, that's what I was told. I was told that if you come into the consulting, you earn big salary, you earn fat salary. But guess what? While I agree with that, you also be the one to make that salary. Consultants typically earn higher salaries than professionals in comparable roles within other industries. Top performers in leading consulting firms can command significant compensation packages, including bonuses and profit sharing schemes. So if you know your onion, that you have spent 5 years in the conventional HR space, you spend 10 years in the conventional HR practice space, that does not mean that if you want to come into consulting, you not spend, I have 10 years HR experience, and then you'll be expecting 1 million naira. It is not like that. You need to be sure that if you come on board, you'll be able to deliver. When I wanted to come into the consulting space, I asked questions. And that senior mentor told me something. He said, Matthew, if you are told to come and solve a problem that has to do with compensation and benefits, what will you do? So I was just like, is it not for me to tell the management of the division that these people are currently earning low, pay them higher? And he just laughed at me and said, Matthew, you're not serious. You're not ready for consulting. And then he started saying something like compensation and benefit survey. He started saying something like compensation and benefit benchmarking. You're going to benchmark that organization with at least 5. So I was not asking, how will I get it? He said that makes you a consultant. So these are some of the questions that will be coming. These are some of the thinking. These are some of the strategic thinking that comes to play. Now, another part of it says that career growth and development. Consulting firms invest heavily in their employees' training and development. That's the truth. Every consulting organization, they spend heavily for. I have lost count in the trainings I've attended. I have lost count in the trainings I've attended, sponsored by my organization, then sponsored by myself, because I want to keep myself abreast with facts and data. I want to keep myself abreast with informations that are realistic and they are empirical. If I come to your organizations and I'm telling you information of 2007, 2008, or 2017, you just be looking at me that, is this guy serious at all? But if I'm telling you that as at today, you will take me for to be a professional, even though that sometimes you want and you realize that every information I've given to you are empirical data. Now you also have global exposure. Many consulting firms operate internationally, providing opportunities for travel and working with clients in different countries. So you have opportunities to work with not just people within Nigeria. I have worked with clients outside Nigeria. I enrolled myself to an online institute where I'm learning how to speak Spanish now. Now, I'm learning how to speak Spanish because I have seen that need between 2023 to 2025, that there is a potential need for Matthew to know how to speak Spanish. Now, guess what? Even though that the space of our role, of our job now in the consulting industry requires us now to start learning additional languages, not just Spanish, even Chinese. I have a friend who is in one of the big 4. He was enrolled specifically to learn how to speak Chinese, And this is because we are having that trend of move towards that area now, that so many Chinese organizations are coming into Nigeria today, and they need people to interpret for them. Now, if we want to go there to solve some of the human capital issues for them, they don't necessarily want to hear us speak English with them. They want to hear us speak their own language. Now, because you are in this space, you will want to have reasons to learn that language and then be able to compete favorably with other consulting organizations. But guess what? There are some challenges. What are some of these challenges? One of it, talent shortage, which I said earlier. There is a shortage of qualified professionals in this industry. That's just the truth. I have met with somebody who said he's a consultant, and we just spoke for within 10 to 15 minutes. I was able to realize that this colleague of mine needs help. And I just spoke with him that, guy, on a man-to-man conversation, I think you need something like this. You need something like this. And I recommended him to some of the areas and online sites that I have been to, that I have taken myself down to that places to learn. I've taken myself to those areas so that I can be able to speak very well when I'm with clients, when I'm with individuals. Now, I am not yet an expert in this area, but transiting from the HRE practices into consulting has been very interesting and useful for me. And to this moment that I speak with you, it has just been an interesting journey riding over and over. Another challenge is limited access to finance. Earlier said, small and medium-sized consulting firm often struggles to access financing, which hinders their growth and development. But guess what? The Nigerian economy is now smiling towards this area, and now people are now coming, to say, okay, what are your challenges? Bank of Industry is now supporting consulting firms today. Some of the commercial banks in Nigeria today are now supporting them, understanding that these people are, of course, the industry has its own challenge, but there is oil in it. The oil in it is that when you come on board, you have people who wants to try you. You have organizations, banks, manufacturing companies who wants to pay that little that they have compared with what the big four has to, and you come on board. Infrastructure deficit, deficiency. Poor infrastructure such as reliable electricity supplies, inadequate transportation network can create challenges for consulting firms. That's just the truth, because the nature of the job requires you to have each of those consultants to have their own personal system. And of course, you need to have your own personal internet facility, which could be minimum of 3 direct internet facility for your own personal use. You can be able to navigate from one network to another network. So these are some of the challenges that are, of course, being faced by the consulting industry, and of course, even consultants too. Because if you are going to make presentation in your client's office, you don't get yourself prepared thinking that you're going to use your own client's internet facility. Now, another challenge is networking opportunity. So I immediately needed to bring up some of those challenges so that it's not look like we're just speaking about benefits and opportunities. I needed to just bring that into the on board, and then cause a tweak a little. Now, look at something here that speaks about networking opportunities. Of course, you have reasons to have diverse individuals that ordinarily your job as a conventional HR practitioner may not give them to you. I have met with over 10 managing directors of some of the top commercial banks in Nigeria. I have met with them. I have sat with them on the same table. We have spoken courtesy of the industry that I am into. I have met with some government individuals, government professional, industry experts, courtesy of this job. I have walked into some government agencies and MDA's offices, met with director generals, met with ministers and commissioners, courtesy of this job. Now, if it were to be in my conventional head of HR or HR manager of companies, I may not have that opportunity to meet with these individuals. Now, another opportunity is that you have opportunity to transfer skills. The skills learned in consulting, such as problem solving, communication, project management, are highly transferable to other industries, and roles. And of course, so some of the skills that I have learned, some of the if I leave the consulting industry that I am today, back to the manufacturing, or go to financial, or go to the tech, it is just going to be very easy. I don't need anybody to say, Matthew, do it this way. I will just speak. I will come in as a professional and solve problems as they come to my desk. This provides consultants with flexibility and options throughout their careers. You can be able to just say, in this organization, I want to work here. You can choose to work there. You can choose not to work there. A senior colleague of mine that left the role before I assumed it in where I presently work. She joined a particular microfinance bank today, and guess what? She's highly seriously paid with accommodation, with official car. In fact, the net salary, when I was discussing with her, and she was like, Matthew, guess what? I didn't get this because I know people. I got this because of my years of experience as a consultant. At the point of your interview, the interviewers are not seeing themselves interviewing an HR professional. They are seeing you, they are seeing themselves interviewing an HR consultant, somebody who is assumed to be an expert, who is proficient in all round areas of the human resources value chain. So when they are speaking with you, they expect you to speak, to talk, like a professional, not like somebody who will just say, I will seek approval, I will go this way. They expect you to say, I will get this done, I will get this done, I will get this done by doing this, by doing this. And when you're speaking to them, you are giving them data that are extremely empirical. You are giving them information that are at that day you're speaking to them. They for at that point in time, they are sure that this person will come and deliver. And of course, this gives you that opportunity, that entrepreneurial spirit, because of course you have worked as a consultant over time. You know some of the deliverables, you already know your onions, you know some of those gray areas. It is easy for you to now say, okay, I want to be an independent consultant. You want to be on your own, you want to set up your own. Most of these consulting organizations that are coming today are individuals who have spent years in other organizations, in other consulting firms, and choose to say they want to own their own. You have opportunity to make the difference. Consulting projects can have a significant impact on businesses and organizations, leading to a positive change and improved performance. So you have opportunity to do something differently. The way an HR professional or HR manager of the company will come to solve a problem will be different from the way I, as a consultant, will come to solve a problem. If you're having an issue with payroll, the way you resolve your payroll issue will be different, will differ from the way myself as a consultant will come to resolve it. The way you resolve an issue of industrial relation will differ from the way I will resolve it as a consultant. As a consultant, I'm going to be speaking best practice. I'm going to be speaking industry standard. But as HR manager or HR professional, you just want to do whatever that will please the management sometimes, or you will just want to do what you think it is right. But I will be speaking from industry, regulatory, and compliance area. That is the area I'm going to be speaking from, because I'm going to just be making it. And of course, as a consultant, there's this work-life balance for you. Consulting firms are increasingly recognizing the importance of work-life balance. I was speaking to the MD of an organization, and he was just asking me, you people are always coming, let us do work-life balance, let us do work-life balance. And the MD was like, no, if we ask these people to work from home, they will not want to work. And I started speaking, I engaged him as a consultant. I was telling him, I gave him instances. I said, McKinsey Consulting, in their own review this year, in June, they said 75% of workforce gets job done if they work from home. I gave him that data. And I said, KPMG also did their own review. I gave data. I said, Philip Consulting gave their own review. I gave data. And I said, in our own review, I gave the date and I gave the data. So it was not like, all right. So another important thing that you need to be aware of is there are required skills for you to be able to come into the consulting space. And whether or not you don't have it, whether or not you have it or not, if you are in the space already, you need to develop yourself in these areas of skills, because you have reasons to go over and over and over and over around it. You have reasons to meet challenges that would need these skills to speak for you. Now, one of it, which is the interesting part of it, is the technical skills. Now, you need the industry knowledge. Consultant needs a deep understanding of the specific industry or sector they serve. This allows them to provide relevant advice and solutions tailored to the client's need. For myself, Matthew, every day, whenever I am alone, I can just go pick my laptop or my mobile phone and just search current trends in the banking industry, current trends in the financial system industry, current trends in fast-moving consumable goods industry, current trends in the manufacturing industry, current trends in the microfinance bank, pension, like that. I will just have this and I'm studying it. Now, do you know the reason why I'm doing every of this? Because I can have any challenge in that area. I could have any reasons to solve the problem of my clients around this area. And so when my clients now comes to say, Matthew, we are having issues with technology, this, that, I should be able to tell them that this is the area you should go to. This is what you should think of. This is what you should do. Now, problem solving. Consultants are often tasked with solving complex problems, finding innovative solutions. There are some problems that will come to your table that you will just stand up from your desk and just take a walk. I have been faced with a serious challenge that I closed my laptop, put my phone on flight mode, and I left my office and went down to the security post, and I was just gisting with the securities. And the security was like, okay, this one that you are sitting here with us discuss. I say, right now, I just want to interact with you guys. And I just started discussing with them, and I started getting solutions. I just got a paper and I started writing. There are complex solutions, complex problems that will come to you, and they require, and your clients needs you to solve this problem for them. Because of course you are a consultant. As far as they are concerned, you have the problem. Whether you have the problem, whether you have the solutions or not, as far as they are concerned, you have the solution to these problems. And so they expect you to say, okay, Mr. Jide, this is what you need to do. Mr. Johnson, this is what you need to do. And that's what they want to hear from you. They don't want to hear, this is a serious problem. You people been coping. You know, at that point in time, they will just look at you that this person is a consultant at all. Another interesting technical skills you need is a project management skill. If you want to become a consultant, if you want to move to the consulting space, you need to go and at least register, write your examination on project management. Now, a friend met me one day and said he wants to go and do his CIPM first before project management. And I was like, I don't have a problem with you going for CIPM. It's fine. It's good. At least that shows that you are you have, you have certification from that space. But you need to also not. I also told him that coming to the consulting space, once you come on board, you are automatically a project manager, because tasks will be assigned to you, to a respective organization. You need that project management essentials, skills, and competence to be able to drive it. And it was just like, oh, really? Get like that. So it is good to say you want to do the HRO certification. That's true. That's correct. I will not tell you not to do that. But the project management proficiency is high. You need it before you come on board. And if you're on board, of course, you should know that as a consultant, you know that you're a project manager. Of course, you will either be writing it or you would have closed cap on it. Another interesting part of it is communication. One simple thing that can cause an issue between a consultant and client is communication.
You need to unmute, sir.
Communicating with your client at the right time, telling them the right information as at when due, giving them the right solution as at when due, providing solutions to them as at when due, and of course, your report writing to them. These are some of the things that they want to see. Anything other than that, you will have some challenges with them. And and one funny thing about clients is that they are not interested. They can just cut the short at any time. You might almost want to conclude that project, and they will just tell you they are not interested, they don't trust you, and that's all. This is not going to only affect you, it's going to affect the brand reputation of the organization, It's going to affect the integrity of the organization you work with. And of course, if you have every of these challenges, then it invariably means that, or the resulting matrix is that this particular client will not be able to, recommend your organization to another consulting to another of their competitors or any of their friends or clients or possibly individuals who will be able to do work with you. Another skill that is essential is the
You
soft
need to
skill.
reshare your screen, sir.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, sir. So another essential skill that is required is the soft skill. Now, the soft skill is one part of it that you cannot hide. Even sometimes at the point of interviewing you, an expert or a senior professional in the consulting industry, in the consulting space, they can easily identify it. But if it's somebody that feels and trusts that you can grow, they may choose to actually take you on board and then give you the opportunity to just grow, opportunity to learn, opportunity for you to become better in the area of the soft skills. That number one is the client relationship management. Consultant builds strong relationship with clients based on trust and mutual respect. If you tell your clients that you are coming on a Monday morning, please, your clients will not expect you and they will prepare for you to come that Monday morning. If you will not be able to at Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning, there is no crime in putting up an email or sending an SMS or putting up a call that you will not be able to, because they will start taking note of every of this. As consultants, consulting to, or as a consultant, you will always have reasons to work amongst team. So consulting projects often involve working with a team of individuals with different backgrounds. I work with individuals from different backgrounds. I have somebody who is a trained engineer, a trained mechanical engineer. We're working together on the same team. I have somebody who is trained actuarial science. We're working together. I have a trained civil engineer. We're all working together in the same. We are all in the same team. Now, guess what? We are solving problems of financial institutions. We are solving problems in manufacturing. We are solving problems even in consulting space too. Now, guess what? This does not state that because this person is an engineer or this person is a production individual, somebody who studied food science or this. This does not state that they will not be able to do the job. No, they have come on board to also become better persons or become consultants like yourself. So you definitely have reasons for collaboration, and there is also need for adaptability, and also the ability to compromise are essential for successful teamwork. You will always have reasons to change your style. Don't say that I have done HR for 10 years. Why should I work with somebody who has spent his or her years in the manufacturing organization as a production manager? So for that, you think that you know it all. No, it doesn't work like that in consulting. In consulting, you have to work with everybody. Another interesting part of it is leadership. Consultants often take on leadership roles within projects. So a project can just come and you'll be assigned to say, Matthew, you're going to be the team leader of this project. Now, if you are assigned team leadership, you have people who are entrusting that you should assign responsibility and tasks to them. You don't have reasons to say that this person is my friend, so for that reason, you abandon other persons. No. Because you have the ability, you have reasons to be able to motivate and inspire others, delegate tasks effectively, and make sound decisions under pressure. There are some tasks that will come that you need to make decisions almost immediately. In fact, your head of department or the directorate head or the head of that unit may not even be available for you, but you need to make decisions immediately. You can make the decision by gathering all the teams together, and every one of you will just decide and think of the best solution to solve the problem. So adaptability. The consulting industry is constantly evolving. Consultant needs to be adaptable and willing to learn new skills and approach to stay competitive. See, the truth is, there are skills that are beyond soft and technical. Why I say they are beyond soft and technical is that if you don't have them on board, if you cannot make use of it. Now, I have somebody who is not proficient in the use of Microsoft Office. She cannot make use of Excel. She cannot make presentation on PowerPoint. And of course, you need that analytical skills. You need that interpretation on Excel. You need to make your presentation and reporting on PowerPoint to your clients. How would you be able to do this if you don't have these skills? So you need to be ready. So if you say you want to move to consulting, ensure that your Microsoft skills at least to be on average. Now, what I'm saying on average is if you are moving, because by the time you come on board, you need to try to be as good as you can to be advanced. Because there are some reports that you need to present on Power BI. You need to make some reports using balance scorecard. So nobody is interested in you just making PowerPoint presentation and you just present like that. No, they want to see your analytical representation and competence in that area. Now, strategic approach to switching career to consulting. I'm trying to round up because of time. There are some strategic approach. I was able to use them, and of course, I had opportunities of senior colleagues and consultants who taught me, who trained me, and some of the things that they said to me and how it was able to help me. First one, you need to assess yourself and define your goal. Self-assessment first. We'll look at self-assessment. Identify your transferable skills, strength, weakness, and area of interest relevant to consulting. You need to be sure that, okay, what is this skill that I have as Matthew? What is this skill that I have that I think that if I move to consulting, it will help me? I am good with analysis. I am good with solving problems. I am good with transferring skills. My strength lies in these areas. I am vast within the HR value chains, even though I'm ready to still learn more. These are some of the assessments you need to assess, you need to be sure. Now, in speaking of this assessment, now I have not talked about qualification. I have not said that I should have a master's degree. I have not mentioned that. I'm sitting in the areas of skills now, technical and soft. You need to have every of these on board. You need to be sure that these skills are available before you are moving on board. You need to also set a goal, determine your desired consulting niche. Do you think you want to stay in the area of strategy? You want to stay in the area of management? You want to stay in the area of IT? You need to think of that. So that even at the point of interview, and the interviewer is asking you, that, okay, you want to come to, what do you think you want to do? Okay, I'm a professional in the HR space, and these are my areas of interest. These are my areas of competence. Okay, I'm vast in the space of strategy and governance. You know, they want to hear you. They want to hear you speak like a professional. They want to hear you say that, okay, this is what I can do. Because consulting industry looks more like the specialist role for HR professional. Because when you're coming aboard, you're telling them that this is what you can do. I am good in this. And so when there are issues and challenges and problems in this area, let us take this to Matthew. If there are cases of compensation and benefit, who do you think can resolve this? I think Matthew can do this. Oh, yeah, Matthew, please. We have a client who has social and this. You're going to be the project manager for this. You must be able to know your area. Another thing is you need to build your profile. You need to build your profile to be able to prepare to move to that area. And in doing this, you need to do what? Look at your skills, skill development. You need to continuously update your knowledge and skills through professional courses, certification, and industry events. If I ask now, how many of us attended the last CIPM conference? Probably not everybody, probably just a few percentage of us attended. Now, these are areas where you will find some of the issues that are within or that are affecting the HR space that you will need even as a consultant to solve HR issues. There are issues that are happening that are being discussed about technology. You will have issues. I think the IT Institute did a conference sometimes last month, somewhere in Ikeja. Now, these are conferences and workshops that you need to be attending. You need to be attending, but when you have opportunity to attend, you will find solutions to some of these problems that are yet to come to you, but because you have individuals who have spoken about it, you have that knowledge. You have written it somewhere that someday they are going to be useful to you. Networking. Actively build relationship with consultants, industry professionals, and potential clients. Every day, I arrived Abuja some, I think around them 4:30, and the lady that was sitting close to me happens to be somebody who works in one of the top 3 commercial banks, and she happens to be at the executive director. So we're just talking. She saw my bag, and she was like, "Oh, you work with this organization?" I said, "Yes." And since she knows the organization I work with, I started engaging her in conversation. So we started talking. I started telling her that we can do this for you, we can do this. And she was like, "Oh, we have something like that. We discussed it in our AGM." And she said, "Yes, we can do this." I started giving her some tip. I started talking about industry. I started discussing about the commercial, the FFS in Nigeria. I started talking about some global changes. I started telling her some new initiative by the CBN governor, and of course the deputy governor in charge of FSS. And the lady was just looking at me that, "Really?" I said, "Yes, we will do this, and we're going to put this into consideration." She was like, "Do you have your card with you?" I said, "I have my card with you." And I just brought my bag out, brought my card, closed it, and I gave it to her. And she gave me her own card too. Now, guess what? Whether I'm going to do a business with her or not, I have increased my network with one person. And like I said, she is sitting as an executive director of that commercial bank. Any day I could just send her an SMS, and "My name is Matthew. I was the guy you met with, so. And if she does not reply me immediately, maybe that day or the following day, she will reply me someday." And she was like, so from there, we become friends. And we may not be friends that we will need to be speaking regularly. But of course, if the bank has an issue and she thinks that, okay, let's try this organization, or probably she knows somebody that speaks around that area, she'll say, "Oh, don't worry, I have somebody that can help you." And she'll give my card to that that network, to that friend, to that individual, and they will put up a call to me. And so that's that. But if I don't have the right information within the FFS industry, I will just be looking at her and I will not be able to say anything. Online presence. You need to update your resumes, your LinkedIn profile to reflect your consulting aspiration. Highlight relevant skills, experiences, and achievements. I just concluded my forward program with McKinsey and Consulting. Now, I did that forward program not because I needed the badge or I needed the certification, no, but because I needed to learn something different. Now, from the foundation to the advanced level, I have become a better person. I have learned so many things that ordinarily, even if I have even gone to do some other area of certification, I may not be able to have gotten it. I may not be even to be able to get those knowledge, but I got them through that forward program. Now, this has been written to me. I have the certificate. I got the badge. On my resume, you will not find it. You will not find it there on my CV that I've, if not for the fact that when I was preparing this slide, just remember that, oh, that's true. My forward program, I've not even put it on my certification. Amongst my certification, I have not. But when I'm speaking today, people will see that, oh, I've learned something new. My boss has realized that, "Matthew, you are different. What is it about you?" I was like, "This is what I did, and this is what I have been able to achieve." And we need to put ourselves on that online presence. You need to showcase yourself. You need to showcase your own challenge. You need your problem solving skills. You need to let people know that this is who you are and this is what you can do. And then the last of all is you need to gain consulting experience. In gaining consulting experience, it may not necessarily for you to jump into the consulting space immediately. There are things that you can do. You can start small. Consider freelance projects, short-term consulting assignments, or volunteer to work or to gain practical experience. There are some consulting spaces today that needs individuals to come and volunteer. You can go to them and tell them you just want to volunteer for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. They are ready to accept you. Till this moment that I speak with you, I still get calls. I still get emails. I still get messages on my DMs from individuals who say, "Matthew, please, we have social project. We want you to join our team." I'm like, no, I can't do it because of the nature of my job. I cannot, like that. And I say, "Okay, please, can you help us? What do you think we can do?" If it is within what will not affect my job, if it is within best practices, I will just do that. And sometimes I will just recommend, okay, I have somebody who's ready to volunteer with you, and I'll just send names to them, and they'll just bring this, and they'll just volunteer. My friends and colleagues and individuals will just, volunteer with it, and you're getting the required consulting skills. You can go for internship, pursue internship or entry level positions at consulting firms. I think as yesterday, 2 days ago, PwC advert closed. I think 2 days ago or 3 days ago, if I'm not mistaken, and they brought out roles for hire, the entry level and like that. I have a few individuals and friends that I sent the links to them for them to apply. So there are opportunities like this, and you don't need to even sit down within your place and expect the opportunities to come. You can go online, search. You will always find you find them. You just walk to them and just tell them you just want to freelance with them. You need internship. You just want to get the experience. And guess what? If they see that level of seriousness with you, you can have that opportunity to be retained. And guess what? You've started the career from that space. And also, there is this pro bono work. Offer pro bono consulting services to non-profit organizations or social causes. This demonstrates your commitment and enhances your skills and contributes to a worthy cause. Because the truth is, most times you may not be able to get the direct opportunity to some of these big or growing consulting organizations to be able to work with them. But if you offer to say you want to freelance, you want to internship, or you just want to volunteer, they'll be ready to welcome you on board. Once you get that opportunity, what you need to do is showcase to them that you can do it. Tell them that you have the ability to learn on the job. Let them see that you're ready to do it. Let them see that you have the passion for it. Let them see that you're ready to become a better person and to contribute to the existing business of the organization in growth, development, and capacity. And guess what? They will be ready to take you. And from there, you have the opportunity to grow, become a better person, and of course, share this knowledge and transfer the skills to them. Thank you so much. Do you have any question for me? So I'm ready to take any questions. If you have any for me, any questions?
Hello, Matthew. Hello, Matthew.
Yes, good evening. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, well done. That's a good, very good presentation. And I think I want to believe participants have learned one or two things from it. While we are waiting for questions, maybe I would like to make one or two comments that even though you touched on them in terms of the big four and the few ones others who are indigenous consulting firms trying to come up, but they lack international affiliations. I was going to ask you that what will you advise younger ones, young professionals? Where do they start from? Should they start from practice or start from consulting, and why? Just your view. Thank you. Matthew, did you hear me? Matthew, I hope you heard me.
Okay. Yes, I got that. So if they should start from practice, or they should do what?
start from consulting and why?
Okay, so now the truth of it is opportunity is very tricky, and whichever one that comes, I will advise you pick either of it. Now, the interesting part of consulting is that if you start your career as a consultant, you have opportunity to compete favorably anywhere. The reason is, if you are anyone who is, for instance, has spent 4 years as a consultant, if you have a 4 years experience as a consultant, as somebody who has 4 years practice as HR, the both of us can never compete in the market together. Because if I am talking, I'm speaking globally. Globally in the sense that I'll be speaking on trends. I'll be giving trend analysis. I'll be speaking based on, problems that I have solved, how I've been able to solve some of these problems, because that's what recruiters, business owners wants to hear you speak. But you are currently in the practice level, you will only be speaking within the scope of what you have done in that organization. So that's just the difference between the both of us. Now, if opportunity comes for you to get consulting and you're currently practicing, if you have opportunity for consulting, move. Because at that point in time, you will have reasons to get yourself challenged. You are challenging yourself to build. See, if you are practicing HR, if it's something that we could actually take a vote. If you're just in the HR practice, some of us now, what you are thinking now is maybe you want to do your CIPM, and from your CIPM you want to come, maybe you want to do any international certification from HRCI or SHRM, and after that you just want to close there. Now, guess what? In consulting is not like that. In consulting, as soon as you get let me just give you a real life in it. While you are on board, you have reasons to want to attend conventions, conferences, symposiums, and events. In your HR processes, you may not want to even do that. That is it, because your job will not give you reasons to go out. Even if you take request for permission, your MD or head of HR will tell you, they will always give you reasons not to attend. Now, in the consulting space again, while other people are thinking of HR certification and everything, which you must have or you should have, you'll be thinking of cases, certifications like business analysis, business performance trainings like that. You want to go there we want to also have yourself attend certifications in those areas. So for either ways, it depends on the opportunity that comes for you as a young graduate. But if you are currently in the practice and you have opportunity to move to consulting, don't think twice. When I got my consulting, I did not even think twice at all. Immediately I just got it. I just gave my 1 month in due to my organization. I spoke to my boss, and my boss was like, Matthew, go ahead, don't think twice. So it depends on the opportunity that comes to you. But if you have opportunity for the consulting, please take it, because you would have so much to gain from it. Okay,
Matt,
so
thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes.
Let me also make some comments, because what you have attempted to respond to have been a lot of issues for young professionals, and even though you have also attempted to respond to it. But my take is that it depends, one, like you said, the opportunity that avail itself. But we have also seen that both of them, they could be totally different board games. But we have also found a situation where you, having been in practice before you come into consulting, it was a very great advantage. I want to ask whether that was your experience, because it depends on where you are starting from. If you're not lucky to be in the Big Four and you are starting consulting and people are asking you questions, you will be more, at times you can become a theorist. You have not laid your hands on it. And depends on the person you are pitching your brief with. Questions are hard, and it's like you just Google and you are telling them. But if you have had course to have practice experience, few years, and you have been able to rove along the HR value chain, You are finding sit with recruitment, performance management, employee relations, compound bench, training, or what have you in HR. And now you find yourself consulting. You are not only telling them global trends, you are telling them that even if you want to implement, this is the way it goes. Matthew, I hope you are with me.
Yes, I'm with you.
So it puts you.
Okay, so now
I'm hearing you.
Okay, now I'll tell you one truth, and the sincere truth is that I will not say that I'm finding it all rosy in my current organization, but even though that we have a policy and we have a template that is working for us. Now, the difference between consulting A or the difference between consultant A and consultant B is knowledge. Now, importantly, I've seen some questions about pricing and everything. Now, that's why I said earlier in the conversation, I said if you take your proposal to an organization and any of the big four comes in, one thing you should do, one thing we will agree with us is that the business owner or the client will want to hear you speak. Now, how would you be able to sell yourself? That's what is important. If I'm speaking with a consultant today, I only ask you 2 questions. The first question I want to ask you is, what is your area? And if you tell me your area, I'll ask you the question. And the question I want to ask you will be as at that day. If you cannot give me the information, then I know you're not serious. We need to see the consulting space is not just the conventional HR practice or the management consulting practices of the days, just like you said, you become a theorist. You are coming there to give them information. So because if you come and you tell them, okay, I've seen a friend who has a consulting organization, his own. He just opened it. He opened it around February, and he was like, Matthew is going to a particular organization, and this is what he built them. He built the organization 2.5 million naira to solve the problem. And I told him that is too cheap, guy. And he was like, Matthew, that's what I said, no, put 7 million naira. He said, Matthew, other people will come. If their own price is lower, they will not take him. I said, guy, put 7 million naira. And I said, prepare yourself. Go and know about that organization. Go and know what some things about this organization that nobody knows. Go and make research. And he did all those research. Now, guess what? At the point of having a conversation with the organization, they did not even allow him to speak on what he wants to deliver.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, he was able.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, conclude your statement, please.
So at the end of the day, he was able to sell himself by what? Telling the organization that I know who you are, I know what you are suffering, I know what you are doing, I know how you can be able to compete with every other person. Now, another thing that is important is these organizations want to see your profile. They want to see what you have done. Now, if you're somebody that is coming new into the space, your experience as an individual is what they want. Now, most consultants today now, they don't just go alone. What they do now is maybe I just look at please, I'm going to so company, and I don't know the kind of question they can ask me. Please, sir, I don't know what your schedule looks like if you are available. Sir, Mr. Murakinyo, I don't know what your schedule looks like. I'm going to so company, and this is my first time. You know, this is what some of these startup consulting companies do. They do, and you just see 4 or 5 people.
Matthew, please hold on. For want of time, because time is fast going. Maybe people also have questions. But what I'm trying to say, you have also spoken along that line. Going with experienced hands has already asked the question I'm talking about. If you don't have the experience, you go, we don't have experience. It confirms that what I said earlier was true, that you need to have some HR practice experience from where you are going to draw knowledge. Are you getting me? One of those things that's common now that business owners, many of them are like you, who have worked somewhere before they start their business, and they are knowledgeable because we are the knowledge is universal now. We are in the global space. Do you understand? Okay. You go discuss with people who are and you'll be surprised that people that call you are also knowledgeable. you are the trend you say you are talking or telling them. Some of them are aware of it. There could be specialists also even on the, but either they invited the person or it's part of the owner of business. So what I'm trying to say, you have tacitly responded to that, oh, Mr. Yemi Adeosun, please join me, Dr. Moraki, join me or whatever, that will help. So I am saying, because what I'm saying that you need to ensure we balance it for young professionals. Do you understand? If any opportunity that comes their way, let them grab it. But it's better if you also have opportunity of having some knowledge and practice, either in form of internship or whatever, and in consulting. If you have had the two opportunities, it puts you in better state. Are you getting me? And as you grow along the line, like you said, look at personal effort you have made to develop yourself. It puts you in some good shape, and people will respect you when you talk truth, and they know that you are bringing value to the table. So let's ask questions whether we have people who have questions or comments before we round up. Any comment, any question again for Matthew, please?
Okay. Good. Can I say good evening now?
Good evening.
So let me just start on the existing protocol. Adeosun, good evening, and well done, Matthew. Moraki, well done. I just want to say this. But I just want to why I commend Matthew. I also want to follow the line of Moraki. It's like a two-edged sword now. They are very far apart. Now, in order for us to solve organizational problems, there is a need for us to have what refers to as industrial knowledge. And apart from knowledge, we have to demonstrate some kind of level of practices that we have done. Because for us, for example, in the financial institution now, there are some problems you may not be able to solve simply because you have knowledge. For example, probably the issue of cybersecurity, the issue of theft, probably stealing, or the issue of some kind of level of technology. You will not be able to solve it until probably you have some kind of industrial knowledge and practices that will enable you to solve that. And I will give you some kind of example. Okay, look at PwC or look at KPMG today, where they want to hire experienced. They don't just go for probably all your life has been a consultancy. They will, in fact, if it is all your life is a consultancy, they want to know whether you are part of the big four, if you really want to join them. But they can easily go and on somebody who already have practical knowledge in a specific sector, probably banking, or it could be in manufacturing, it could be in the technology. They know that you already have some kind of number of years practicing, and you now move into consulting. So they will prefer to hire such a person than just somebody who has been in either consulting, not in the big four. Okay. So what it means for all of us is that as many of us that are practicing HR now, and you want to venture into consulting, is a good thing. So what it means for you now is that gather as many experiences as possible, so that by the time you go into consulting, you'll be able to solve real and complex organizational problems. Personally, I started from consulting and I moved into practicing now in the financial system. I've been in the human resource consulting and doing what probably Matthew is doing now. And by the time I came into banking sector, although I was able to grow very fast because of the consulting background that I have. And as a matter of fact, like what Matthew was saying, we're able to be solving problem as a consultant. And it makes us different from people who already have banking experience, like we are working with. And as a matter of fact, they will have to wait for us to speak before they know, okay, let's go. At the end of the day, they probably be going for our own idea. And that one gave us leverage because we have consulting background. But I won't lie to you. Despite the fact that I am able to be solving problem where I am working now using my consulting background, then I am able to solve real problems as it comes, almost probably every single day or every week. What you solve, the problem kind of problem you solved last week, between the one you are going to solve this week. And this one now give us what refers to as industry specific. I don't know whether you understand that word. Industry specific knowledge, practices, and also experiences. So either way, what is most important is that if you are practicing now, build as many knowledge as possible, build your clients as possible so that you can do well by the time you are starting a consulting. And if you're actually a consulting, you don't have industry specific knowledge, I will advise, even though it's 1 year or 2 years, go and get it. Then you can go back to consulting. You will do fantastically well. So that is just what I want to add to what we are saying right
Thank
now.
you, Fola, very much.
Thank you.
That was the balancing I was talking about. It helps a great deal. Consulting, trend, whatever, but at times it could be destabilized if you don't have some, hands-on experience to share. It gives you some
Right.
kind of stability, some stamina. Thank you, Fola, for that wonderful contribution.
You're
Do
welcome.
we have any
Thank you,
other
Mark.
question for Matthew? Yemi, are you there?
Yes.
How many minutes more do
Yes,
we have?
I'm seeing the check. I'm checking the chat box. There are some questions here. I want to quickly.
Please quickly take them. I don't know how many minutes we have more. Even me, probably take
Okay,
off. So
somebody
you can quickly
Stanley
attend to
said,
those ones.
Matthew, hello Matthew, do you need to have a certain certification as a consultant before you can incorporate consulting company? No, you don't. Well, you don't. It's just normal. You just do your registration with. I know you do registration with CAC, and then yes, this CAC. And I know consulting association they have they have an association, so there's a body. So you just meet with them, and it's not more like a rocket science like that. No, it is not. It is not. Is CIPM the only certification body in HRO space? CIPM is the only recognized by federal government as at today. Although there are other ones that are springing up, but in Nigeria, federal government as at today, it's only CIPM I can be able to speak about. Hello, Mr. Matthew, how can you handle? Okay, have you been able to handle clients who refuse to pay you their agreed fee? Well, I've never had clients like that. What is important is that there is a terms and condition and then agreement notes, or some say call it service level agreement. If it is signed, expectedly they should pay a particular amount upfront before you start. So if they don't pay the particular percentage upfront before they start, you don't need to actually start the project. I advise actually. Mr. Matthew, I've been in consulting before I started working. I've been in consulting since 2009 to 2021 when I started working again. Now, the reason why I came back to start working is because Nigerians hardly pay you for your service. I think maybe mostly Nigerians don't appreciate intellectual capacity. Okay. Well, I will agree with you that Nigerians do not want to pay because they feel that some of them will even tell you that it's not paperwork you want to come and do. What is important is that if you sell yourself and sell what you want to do, and also when you're speaking with your client, be sure of not to tell them everything. We can make a mistake as a consultant to tell them everything, including the solution to the problem. And they will not want to have anything to do with you again. So I've seen that experience before. How do you price? Okay, this is directly to me. How do you price yourself?
Sorry, Matthew. Let me add this.
Okay, please go ahead.
I was thinking probably it's going to be part of the thing you are going to actually talk about. Listen, when you go into consulting, there must be some paperwork that has to do with the way you work, policy, SLA, all the stuff. So anybody you are working with, you must ensure there is a signed SLA, service level agreement. Once it is signed, then they should be able to also issue you there's a document they need to give to you like a mandate apart from the SLA, because most of the SLA may not come with fees, but a mandate letter that will authorize you to go ahead with what you want to do. It come with a fee, it will come with a timeline, it will come with every other details you need to know on the mandate letter. Okay. So, and you need to also let them know that, okay, probably by the time you want to take a job, you are collecting 50% up front or 70%. And it doesn't really work with all organizations anyway. For example, for the banking industry, they might not really pay you your money until you have completed the job. But that doesn't mean they're not going to pay you. So you need to understand the people that they don't work with their reputation. So if you are working with somebody that the name is somehow, I will collect my upfront 70% or 80%. You will pay before. But if I know that you are a well-established organization and you don't really joke with your reputation, and so yeah, I can deliver, then you pay me. So get the SLA and get the mandate letter, and it will really help a lot. You won't have any issue with they are not paying me or they are not doing. No. It's not going to happen.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vincent.
Matthew, thank you very much, and everyone. I think our time is fast spent, and it's almost time for us to round up. I don't know why I may want to say something, but Matthew, I must commend you. You've done a very great justice to the topic, and Fola and other guys who has also spoken. We have also tried to bring some balance into it. And if I could summarize, we are saying that consulting, good space to operate from, but do your homework, personal development, educate yourself. There are a lot of things online, what do you call it, knowledge that you can seek. Some of them are training. Some of them don't even need pro certification, but at least you broaden your horizon, because if you want to be talking about trend as a consultant, you have a broader knowledge than somebody who just operates on a table, and when they are talking, you are saying this is a problem, but in future, if you don't address it, you can extrapolate, they will know that somebody they are talking to somebody has that knowledge. And when you're also providing solutions, like, okay, this solution I'm giving you, I also had this to it. So in 2 years' time, if you run into this, you will do this. They would like to hear people or a consultant who is such knowledgeable. So it'd be a good time, night well spent together with Matthew and other professionals. So for our people coming, it's not about money. If you don't have money, please, like Matthew has said, and some of us also alluded to, can get into internship, freelance, learn. And for those of you who work in organizations and you are one table, you can do job rotation through personal efforts. Do job shadowing. You are on recruitment. You told your guy, Matthew, you are in performance management. When do you close? 4 o'clock. You know they close 4 o'clock. Which you and I going to have session with you for 4 o'clock to 4:30. You are doing that to training. You are doing that to employee relation. You are doing all aspects of business partnering. So you have done 2 years or 1 year plus in a place as practice, and your knowledge is wide. They'll be wondering, you have only 1 year, but because aside from just glue it to one table, one unit, you have taken personal effort to live with your colleagues and develop yourself. So in 2 years, your head is loaded. So imagine now transit to consulting, and they're talking, and you're able to talk on all the value areas HR function. Somebody will respect you than somebody who's only able to talk about equipment, only have to talk about compound. So if you know you're going to go consulting, you must have a wider knowledge, because you are talking of this one now, they can throw other questions to you. And you can't be saying, please let me go and check and come back. So once again, Matthew, thank you very much for this. And I'm sure there are other opportunities you will still come out to share knowledge. So Yemi, can we have a conclusion?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Morakin Oloyede. That has been excellent. Thank you so much, Consultant Matthew Edegbe. Thank you. Thank you also, Consultant Fola Vincent, and everyone who has either asked a question on the chat or added value one way or the other. We appreciate everyone that stopped by tonight. Tonight or latest tomorrow morning, this will be on the YouTube channel. You can watch it at your convenience. See you tomorrow at another session. Bye.